Right, I'm heading over to the SYM stand because I'm a scooter fanboy and I love a scooter. So let's have a look around this lot and see what's what. This has caught my eye immediately. It's like the ADV version, isn't it? ADXTG 400, 7,300 euros. Looks like you can chuck it on the ground and pick it back up again. Looks very Suzuki, doesn't it, at the back there? Really robust looking. Yeah, you can certainly see the cheapness when you look down through the gaps, because underneath it is just, it's all fairing, isn't it? It's very Suzuki though, isn't it? It's almost like the Suzuki designer left and went to go and work for SYM. Like even the front of that, well, the front looks quite Kawasaki. Still, I quite like it. So that's a 400. This is more of a, again a GT 400, so this might have a bit more tech on it. No, it doesn't look that way. Same sort of thing, some cubby holes. Twist and go-ness about it. Quite aggressive looking still. Quite low seats as well on these, which is quite nice. And same bike in a 300 here, with a bit more of a Suzuki front end to it. This is the Cruisym 300i. Again, I quite like that. It's got a feeling of Honda about it, this one. It's got a Kawasaki and Honda styling about it. You're getting that vibe, aren't you? Let's look at what everyone else does and copy it. Now this one is called a Joyride 16. It's a 300cc. Looks like it's got good wind and weather protection. It's a proper step through. It's quite wide though for a scooter. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. It's still quite aggressive styling. What's this one called? This one's called the Joymax Z Plus 125. So that's a Joyride 300 and this is the 125. Very chunky butt on it. If you want to try and get through the traffic, you want it's really wide. I think that's too wide. I'd want it a bit more narrow. It's got an analogue on the old dash there. I don't know, I don't dislike it. Right, now for the really little mini ones, the 50s. It's nice to see petrol engines still. So this is a CLBCU 50i. Quite like that for just nipping around the town. I think it'll look cool in a really bright colour though, instead of these very bland colours they've got on this stand. Why aren't people making bright orange stuff, bright red and purple? Be cool. So I suspect these are all running the same engine, it's just a different guise. That looks like it's excellent around town. It's really tiddly. It's really narrow. Proper little step through from. That's what I think of as a little 50cc step through. That's cool. All of these are pretty much the same. They've all got to share the same engine, haven't they? It's just what you like the look of. Jet. Yeah, as I say, it's the same bike with different clothes on each time. So I like all those. Let's bomb over to the other side where I suspect the engine sizes get bigger. So we're over to the 125s. There's a Symphony SR, a Symphony ST, and actually that's quite a, I don't like the chrome, it's quite a slender looking bike, proper step through, quite large tyres, bit more like a Honda. Mate, just look at that exhaust pipe, it was ridiculous. Proper little step throughs, I like the step through thing. Not so sure about this one. This is a bit more of a, you know where they copied this one from, don't you? Comment below. Yeah. It's a lot of styling theft. Although look, that looks like the back of a Hayabusa. I don't know, I think there's a lot of styling theft going on the SYM stand. So 125, 125, 125. So just, again, it's just about styling. And then the ADX, which is like the ADV version, could be cool. Right, that's the SYM stand. I think there are a couple of bikes that I would even test ride or even buy there. They're quite cool. Bigger engines though, we want bigger engines. Right, let's have a look at the Hondas, the scooters now. So one of the last bits I'm going to look at on this show. So let's start off with this, which is the there's three 125s here. I suspect they probably share the same engine. So this is the SH125, which is a step through, and it's got the larger wheels, which I think is like, this is the sort of thing that I'd have if I lived in a city. This is exactly it, because you can do a bit of shopping on it. It's a proper step through, so you can get on it without having to like swing your leg. There's no screen, but you don't really need one for just bimbling through the city, and it's super narrow. I mean, I would say the widest part is probably the tips of the levers, so it's really good for getting through traffic. Next we're going to the PCX 125. Nifty. And this is more of a sleek looking thing, still a city bike. And on this one I'd say the wing mirrors are the widest part, slightly smaller wheels. I think out of the two, if I lived in a city, I'd have this little black one, the SH. And then the Forza, this is the 125 Forza, which I already know because I had the 350 myself, is a great bike. I wonder if it's got enough power as a 125, it probably does. But it's much bigger, for I think you can do longer journeys on that. The screen goes up and down. And it's got a new dash there that you see for 2025. So this should be the 350, right? So this should be the same, technically the same as the 125. Look, there we go. We're going to have a new dash, so we've got rid of that analog dash. We've got slightly different switch gear than the older one. I hope they fixed the filler cap problem. And they've got a little like wind deflector bit there, which I have to admit is a good call. Having owned the previous gen, it could have done with a little wind deflector. I think they've looked at everything apart from perhaps the suspension that it needed. So if this had slightly upgraded suspension and cruise control, this would be the best scooter on the market. But to get it down to the price point it needed to be, they've had to scrimp on those things. So it's just got a cable pull throttle, which I found on long distances to be a real sort of wrist acher. So that's why I wouldn't get another one. So that's the 350. Then I suppose we go to this one. It's the SH350. So that actually would be an epic bike for in the city, because it's super quick. I mean, it must be way fast. I mean, the Forza 350 is fast enough, but it looks lighter. So yeah, it's 172 kilos versus 186 kilos 15 kilos-ish. I bet that makes a difference. And then the other one in the range would be the ADV 350, which I think they've made look epic. This looks brilliant. I'll actually be tempted to get one of those. It's got a little baggie there, look, for a bit of extra storage. I think, as urban bikes go, that's got to be about one of the best ones out there. That's possibly the scooter of the show for me. Now to the big boy, the 750. I think this has had a little bit upgrading this year, 2025. We've got the new dash. It's got cruise control. Doesn't seem to have heated grips or a seat. Heated grips and seat please, Honda, as standard, not as upgrades. Looks wise, it's pretty good. I think that's an epic bike. Now, again, style wise, the 750 XADV, it looks great. I wish Honda would be a bit more brave with their colours. It's just a wicked bike, isn't it? See if I can get a picture of the front when these guys are moving. Right, it just looks purposeful. I really like that. 13,700 euros though. Brilliant bike. So, I think that sums it up for the show. A lot of scooters here, a lot of 125s here, which I think is good. A lot from China. And bike of the show for me, probably the 750 XADV or the BMW F900 GS. And that's possibly it. So I don't really know beyond that. And there we go. That's the Cologne show. And I'm going to sign out. Have a little look around. I'll do like a little review of it and let you know my overall thoughts of the show. Right, back to the car.